Hello and happy Boxing Day. Welcome back. I hope you've all enjoyed your Christmas dinners. You're not too stuffed on mince pies because the new season's about to begin. Hello everybody and welcome back to In the Dugout FM. I'm Millers. This is Sunday League, the Champions League. And for those of you that have been here from the start, and if you haven't been here from the start, welcome and do feel free to subscribe and all of that stuff. I've had a good transfer window. It's been challenging because we've had players go that I didn't really want to go. But I feel like we've done all right. Not that that's reflected in the odds, but let's get into it. So if we just quickly flick back, at the end of last season, Shadrach went out to Motherwell for 300k. He wanted to go and talk to Motherwell. He told me if he wasn't allowed to talk to Motherwell, he'd throw his toys out the pram. So off he went and had the conversation. Fine. We signed 3 boys in from Arsenal. I can't remember whether we talked about these when you were last here or not. I had them on trial at that point. We signed 3 boys on trial, and we signed Osman Kake. So he's going to be our starting right back. Really, really pleased with him. He's done great pre-season, really strong mentally. Physically, he's got all the bits. He can tackle. Quite pleased with him. Sierra Leone international. Whilst he is 30, he adds a bit of experience, and we need a little bit of that. And then we signed 3 lads on a free from Arsenal, like I said. 2 of them are going to go out on loan, James John and Phil O'Sullivan. But Nikolai, I think this kid can challenge Jack Lancaster for a place. Really, really good physically. Little bit of flair, which we know I like. Great first touch, technically very good. So he's going to stay with the first team and come on as and when required on that right-hand side. And then, as we go into the new season, you can see that big dirty number there. Well, Liam Shaw again. I think when we were on our training camp in Scotland, I think Motherwell came to watch him because they wanted him and they wanted him from the get-go. And Liam again said, if you don't let me talk to them, then there's going to be problems. So they offered a reasonable sum of money, 800 grand, fine. We took him in for a free last season. It's a good return on investment. And off he went, which was a loss because I like him. And then the boy Ben, you know what I thought about him at the back end of last season. But the reality is Birmingham came sniffing, 2 or 3 other clubs. Sheffield United was one of the other ones. And they were offering reasonable money. I said no, because I want to keep him. And Ben, well and truly, threw his toys right out the pram. There was milk on the floor. Everything had happened. So we went back into negotiations with a couple of teams, and we managed in the end to get a reasonable $750,000 for him. Again, for someone I brought in for free, it's a good bit of business for the club, and he moves on with our blessing, I suppose. A few lads have gone out on loan, but with that money coming in, what we have done is really bolstered our wage budget. You know, again, I've got rid of anything transfer budget-wise, and I've done some bits in terms of incoming transfers on frees. So, let's get into some of them. We won't go through them all. I signed myself an absolute, well, what I like to picture as an absolute enforcer in the middle of the park. Kosovan international. He's going to come in, nice and aggressive, nice and brave, probably had his nose broken 2 or 3 times, willing to go and do the hard stuff, the horrible bit in the middle of the park. And he's only on $3,000 a week. And I'm really pleased with that. Really pleased. He started off at Fulham, didn't really make his life work very well up in the Premier League, and that's fine. Played a good season in the Cinch Premier League up in Scotland. Then went to Grimsby. He's played every game for Grimsby, but just never really excelled. I think you put him with some good players, and this kid's going to be great. Kasper Ziyech, he was signed by our director of football, in all fairness, so we've got to give Ben the credit for this guy. Polish, big lad, looks like a unit. I can't decide whether he's going to miss more than he's going to score based on pre-season, but I'm willing to give him a go. He's willing to play in that poacher role just like Josh will. So, you know, with his strength, his jumping reach, his heading, yeah, I think we've got somebody, and he has ranked in the potential top goal scorers for the league, so we like that. Then we signed quite a few lads on free transfers where their deals were about to run out. The biggest one is Arablaster. So he's coming from Sheffield United, an absolute beast, and I'm delighted to have him. So he's been at Sheffield United for quite some time, done a few seasons in the Championship. He's taken the decision to step down and come and play for us. Is he on big money? Yes, he is. He's on 9.5 grand, but he's got a minimum fee release clause of 3.9, and actually he really does make us a hell of a lot stronger in the centre of the park. As does the likes of Marshall Burke. He's come in, he's going to play in centre midfield for us. Nice little bit of an enforcer, but can play out on the wides and do a little bit for us. We've got Joe Boris, he's come in as well. Again, nice and rounded, willing to play in that centre of that park for us, where we do play 3, so we need that strength. And we signed Chikola Mullen, who's our new centre half. He's going to replace Jack Simpson, so he's going to play with I can never say his name, Obafini at centre half in that partnership there. Did really, really well pre-season. Nice bit of a leadership quality about him, brave, and he comes in from us, having started his career at Liverpool, went to Leeds, didn't really pan out. Again, Championship experience, League 1, League 2, he's been about, he knows how to play the game, and he's going to come in and help us out. And then the last one is Malik Mothersili. So he can do a little bit of both. Again, very, very good pre-season, but what we've got ourselves here is a Ramdeuter. So this kid's going to be great. He's going to sit in pockets, look to try and receive, use his flair, use his technique and his work rate to get the ball moving and really try and support our forwards. So I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased with the window we've had. And I don't often say that, in all honesty. So that's what our team's going to look like. Falls is the boy that, if you remember a little while ago, Ben signed from Waterford, Cliftonville, in Northern Ireland, and he's joined us in this summer, and actually really good. Again, good in pre-season, did bits, nice and flary, great technique, good work rate. I've given him the 7 shirt. He's going to sit in the centre of the park for me and try and dictate play with being a bit of a playmaker. And then we've got Lancaster, who's going to sit out on the right. Again, he wants to consider his options again. So if someone's willing to bid 4.5 million, I've said I'll sell him, and he's happy with that. So we'll see. I can't see somebody paying 4.5 million for him, to be honest. So we're probably going to be okay in terms of keeping him. But that's what it looks like. In terms of what the bookies think, not really a huge improvement, which I'm surprised about based on the quality of the squad. But they're saying 50 to 1. I'm quite happy to be the underdogs. We do have to appreciate that you've got teams spending crazy money in this league, and that's what we've got to compete with. Cardiff have come down, Preston have come down, and it's no surprise that they're favourites to bounce back up. Stockport came down after spending a season up there. So there's some big teams to compete with. We're just going to have to do our best. The board don't want anything other than establishing, it's actually avoid relegation again this season. But if we can stick in and around that 12th again, we've got success, right? And our contract runs out at the end of this season. Where we're going to go, who knows? But let's get the first game of the season done. We're playing QPR away. Both the board and our fans, our supporters liaison officer say we'll quite happily take a defeat here. So it's kind of a free hit for us. We're going to go balanced. We're going to start with the lads that we would want to start with. And that way we give ourselves the best chance and we get to have a look at them and you get to have a look at them. Obviously, Josh is going to be on the bench for us. All being well, he will come on, depending on how Ziyech does. But we'll see. We'll see. Jamal signed a new contract, but he is sort of getting past that point, past his peak. So he'll play, just nowhere near as much. And when he does play, we'll revert him back to being an inside forward. Okadina does want to play as a wide centre-back, but that isn't really an option when I'm not playing a 5. So he's going to be annoyed at some point throughout this season, I'm sure. But that's just the way that's going to have to be. We're not going to play a 5 unless we desperately have to. And that's where we're going to go. So, without further ado, let's get into the start of the season. There's a couple of lads that are short on fitness, which is understandable. Some of them have come in late. So, Arablaster came in really quite late. Although Malik came in for pre-season, Arablaster's not played for us in pre-season. He just came up on with a scout radar. And as 1 or 2 clubs were already sniffing around, I took the opportunity to bring him in on trial and then took him and gave him a contract. So hopefully this is all going to pan out for us. We've got nothing to lose. I totally agree. Let's see what everybody's capable of. It's a free hit. It's against QPR. It's at Loftus Road. Let's get into it. I hope you've all had a lovely Christmas. I hope you're all feeling stuffed and you're fully satisfied with all your presents and everything else that you got. A double upload day over Christmas and Boxing Day. Hopefully that deserves a like in your opinion. Hopefully it deserves a subscribe if you've not done already. That'd be lovely. That will really help me out as Matthew Richards scores for QPR after 15 minutes and gives them the lead. But yeah, it would really help me out. We're up to 35 subscribers, which kind of blown my mind a little bit. You know, we've gone from nothing to 35 really quite quickly. And I'm just playing a game that I would ordinarily play, you know, doing a save that I would ordinarily do. So it's great to have you here, and hopefully you're enjoying it as much as I am. Hopefully we can get something out of this game, though, as Mother Silly's on the ball, plays it back to Arablas, who's found Ziyech first time. You don't mind that? Oh, he's offside. He's offside. It was lovely, though, wasn't it, that? And that's what we're looking for. Mother Silly comes into a pocket, finds the on-rushing pole. Boom. But he just ran a bit too quickly, I'm afraid. That looked like a foul throw. As he's opened up, though. That's right, just put your foot on it. Not like that. Well in you. Good. Bit of a reset. We don't mind that. We don't mind that. So Kian's going to be our starting left-back this season. I couldn't really find anybody that would challenge him. We've got a young boy in the reserves who I have sent out on loan. So, and he can be recalled, but we'll see. I think Kian's probably just going to have to stick out this season, and we'll see what we can do in the summer. Kakai breaks forward, boxed. Mother Silly in that pocket of space at the back post and nods in. Superb. He's a lad that likes to play up front, so I don't mind him tucking in like that. Particularly when Ziyech is I think he went near post, did he, Ziyech? He's a big lad. You can't really miss him. There he is. Yeah. Okay. No. Delightful. Delightful. 1-1. And we're down here at Loftus Road. So you've got to remember, it's not the worst result in the world, that. But it's not by no means a done deal, of course. As we're only after 34 minutes. They've got Geldhart playing up front. I think he's that Leeds player, isn't he? From memory. We just left him. We just left him to run all the way through there, boys. Superb. Look at the size of that telly again. What is it with these tellies? I wonder whether we can have one. This is where you tell me we do have one. I've just not seen it. 6 because we're drawing. Not the worst. Lancaster's struggling and wants to come off. That's the perfect opportunity to put Nikolai on, which we will do. We'll probably do it at half time. If we can get into the break at 1-1, then that's superb. However, QPR look to be on the break, and there's plenty of time for them to make the most of that. Well in you. Unlucky. Unlucky. There's Geldart again. Finds right in Akers. We've stood him up, but not well enough. Joe Geldart. It is Joe Geldart. Tucks away his first, and he's going to score an absolute bucket load in this league, by the way. An absolute bucket load. That's really unfortunate, but not what you want just before half time. To be fair, looking at that graph, it looks like it's been all QPR. And they make the most of that just before half time, and it completely changes the way the half time team talk goes, doesn't it? Show me something different. Let's try and ramp them up a little bit. We're going to make that change that we talked about. So Nikolai's going to come on. It does hurt us in terms of a little bit of quality, but I like the fact we're giving him an early run out. Let's see what he can do. Gives Lancaster a bit of a rest if he is struggling, which he shouldn't be at this point in the season, to be perfectly honest, but there we go. But Chisholm is on the ball. He's boxed. He's found Ziyech, and we've scored. That's delightful. He's got his first touch in the first half is an assist, and it's a lovely little finish by Ziyech into the bottom corner. There we go. Look at that. Nice 1-2. Has the drive to get down past his man and just puts it in a corridor. And Ziyech is going to tuck them away all season for me, I think. I think he's going to love operating in those kind of little areas. Ideal. So it's fairly even spread. Quite happy with that. I'm quite happy with how we've played so far. We're probably going to make a couple of changes shortly, just to try and keep people fresh. But other than that, I've been fairly pleased with what we've done. Falls is going to come off for us. I think we're probably going to give Thomas a run out. Burke's going to come on because Pajazzi's got a booking, and Jamal's going to come on wide left, and we're going to change into that inside forward because he's not a Randeuter. He's not going to do that job for us. Let's see what the boys can do. I'm going to leave Ziyech out there. I don't think it warrants bringing Josh on at this stage. Let's see if those changes can make any difference. The good thing is they've definitely not weakened us, right? Which is what was happening quite a bit. Certainly the season before last with Curzon, and a little bit last season, more towards the back end, where we were bringing players on. Why didn't you get a toe there? Get a toe there. Breathe. Okay. Yeah, when we were bringing players on, and they definitely weaken you. It's not great. But this time, you know, with those substitutes, I'm really not concerned that they do. Look at that. Just get your toe in there, don't you? Put it out for a corner. I won't be bothered. That's absolutely fine. You've done your job. Instead, you flapped at it. Not great. Looks like Chicola Mullins needs a rest. Let's see if you can see it out, though, shall we? They've gone short, QPR. Never like a short corner, personally. Particularly when you get your centre-halves up. If I'm a centre-half and I've done all that running, I want the ball delivered to my Swede. I don't want you to pretend that you're going to deliver it to my Swede and then go short and we lose that ball and I've got to do all the running home. Ziyech is through. Is it the beans? Is it the beans? You could argue that was easier to score. Hugely unlucky, though. Hugely unlucky. A great little through ball. Kakai's on the ball. He's at the near post. He couldn't beat his first man. Thomas has lost out. QPR looks to try and recycle then. That's really unfortunate, isn't it? That could have been 3-3. That would have been delightful. We're keeping them penned in. Unless they manage to play the way out, it would be quite nice just to keep them penned in here. See if we can get a little nook. Get ourselves through. No, doesn't look like it. Collins has played it out, though. They've managed to find that space. Collins has got it back. Just over the bar. Just over the bar. Well, look, 3-2. Not the worst in the world. Could have been a lot worse. Could have been better, but I think it's quite a good display in terms of what we've got. You know, I certainly think we're a strong mid-table side with the squad that we've got. And it was a good effort. I'm not displeased with what we saw there. I'm not. And I'm not displeased with the window. Hopefully you guys and girls agree with me. It's been a reasonable window. If you want to put your predictions in terms of where you think we're going to finish, do so in the comments. That would be great. I'm going to go for top 10. Right, that's as nailed on as I'm giving you right now. I think we're a top 10 team in this league, and I think we can compete in and around that area, which is a kick on from where we were, and that's progress. And on that, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will catch you all in the next one. Take care.